it's alright, so wild. Two good old boys talking life with a smile. Cracking jokes about kids and chores. Tune in, you'll come back for more. Laugh now, dad later, it's alright, so free. Raising hell, making moves, that's the life for me. From open Mondays to weekend roars, you'll keep hitting play for what's in store.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Laugh Now, Dad Later. My name is Chris. Unfortunately, Ray is unavailable for this episode. We have attempted to postpone it, which explains the time waiting for this episode. However, that's why we call it Laugh Now, Dad Later. If we're not laughing now, then more than likely we're dadding it up. So that being said, let's go ahead and keep it moving. So today we are going to be making this a shorter episode. We will be covering a little sports talk and also a quick food spot shout out, just like last time. But with the NFL draft coming in the next couple hours, I wanted to make sure to address our first ever comment or question, actually, from our last episode. Shout out to Dan Gwynn for being our first ever subscriber's question. We thank you very much. I mean, it does have to deal with the draft, so I wanted to go ahead and address this first instead of waiting until the end of the episode. All right, so Dan, you wrote great first episode, guys. Thank you very much for that. My question for the next episode relates to the NFL draft. Who do you think your respective teams should draft any round? And who do you think are can't miss prospects? And also, what grades would you give to your last year rookies? Well, first off, that is more than one question, Dan. So, but being our first ever, I'll go ahead and try to address all three if I can, as much as I can. So for the first question, who do I think the Steelers, since that is my respected team, actually mine and Ray's respected team, but my personal opinion on who do I think the Steelers should draft on any round. Being a Steeler fan, first off, we need to figure out what the hell Rodgers is going to do, because that depends on how aggressive we're going to be. But at the same time, at this point, we need to quit waiting on him, and just look to build without him. But nonetheless, for our first round, if Schrader Sanders drops to our pick at 21, I expect him to take Sanders. If they don't, I would expect us to attack the defensive line to start off. Cam Hayward, I believe, is on his final year. Maybe even retiring after this year is a big possibility. So we got to be preparing for the future. So I expect them to be going after Derek Harmon. He's versatile, agile, and able to play multiple positions. And as we all know, for the Steelers, they like to move players around. So that would be a solid person being adjustable. To be able to do multiple positions. So that'd be an interesting pickup. That's who I think that they are going to focus on if Sanders doesn't drop to 21. I don't expect them to go hardcore for a quarterback for the first round. We don't even have a second round because we traded it for DK. So we're not going to have anybody until third unless we make a trade. There has been rumors about a Pickens trade, and just today Pickens unfollowed the Steelers. What does that mean? We'll see coming up here soon. But yeah, that's who I think's gonna, who I think they're gonna go for the first round. Now, that being said, when it comes to preparing for the future, is Sanders the future? I mean, we'll have to see how that pans out after 2 years. I mean, he is being said to be one of the more NFL ready quarterbacks coming out of college. And I mean, again, I don't watch much college, but what I have seen of him, he didn't have a good old line the whole season. And as y'all know, the Steelers, with all of our rookies last year, we didn't have a good old line because everybody was injured. So that was a rough thing. And you know what I mean? Knowing that he was able to overcome with a bad old line the whole season, that's a big plus for me. But I mean, he knows how to move, and when shit hits the fan, he took accountability. And for a young quarterback to take accountability, even when with a terrible O line, I feel like that speaks volumes. So all this slander I hear, I feel like it's for clicks for the most part. If not Sanders, and we take a defensive tackle, and we don't make any trades to get a second round pick, when third round comes around, we could either take a quarterback, which I expect them to be focusing on Milroe. He's an elusive quarterback with a nice deep ball. However, from what I'm hearing, his mid and short range throws are subpar. So he has a lot of developing to do. But the way he plays, I see the Steelers favoring him, and the way that he's able to break away with his legs. With only having Warren, not knowing how aggressive we are going to go with running back. But from what I hear, it's a big running back room this year, so we'll see about that. But him able to run and get the deep ball to DK and Pickens is basically what they're looking for. Wouldn't be the smartest move, though, in my head at least. But could he be worse than Pickett? It's going to be kind of hard. At the same time, Pickett did have some good throws. He did have some good games, and he had some comeback games, but he just didn't pan out. Moving on to your second question, can't miss prospects for us. I'd probably have to say Harmon. I mean, getting a solid defensive tackle is necessary this year, so that's going to be, in my opinion, the prospects, because by the time we get, it's not even for sure that Harmon's going to be there, but I think that would be our best bet at that pick. So we'll see. Now, when it comes to our last year draft picks, there we go. Like I said earlier, man, we didn't really get to see them in action last year. Fatanu got hurt before week 3, but I was excited for him. I was very excited for him. Picking him up in the first round, that was exciting. He was a very aggressive, very, very aggressive offensive tackle. So I really wanted to see him go. He was starting to get into the swing of things before his injury. We didn't get to see him completely. So I'm excited to see him back this year. We'll see what happens. I was happy with Frazier. I mean, he's aggressive, and for his first year, he gave up only 1 sack all season and was top 5 rookie interior lineman in the pass block win rate. I mean, after a couple games in, he started looking like he belonged. So Frazier definitely. I give him a 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, 6 or 11. You know what I mean? He did great this season. So Frazier, I'm completely happy with. I give him a top rating. Let me see here. Besides that, I mean, Roman Wilson got hurt too, so we didn't even get to see him healthy. Didn't even get to see him get unleashed. So we'll see about this season how he's going to look. They had high praise for him. I like Calvin Austin, so I think that Wilson's going to do good, but I think I'm happy with Calvin Austin, so we'll see what happens with that. Now, when it comes to Peyton Wilson, that boy is going to be great. The more he develops, like he had 31 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble in limited snaps. So he's solid. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see our young offensive line healthy. But again, we got to get them out there. Got to get them on the field to finally get a good feel of what they're going to become. But only time will tell with that. So can't give a solid score for the last year rookies on all of them. But for who we did see, for the most part, Frazier, definitely give him a solid 10 out of 10 score. And then, like I said, Peyton Wilson, he did great. He was looking good, and that was on limited snaps. Since he was on limited snaps and since we didn't get to see his full potential, I'm probably going to give him a 7. But he's still, 7.5 maybe. But he's solid. I'm expecting him to make a breakout year this season. So we'll see what happens with that. So that is all 3 of your questions there, Dan. That does that is my take on our first ever comment or question from our viewers. So again, thank you very much, Dan. Dan Gwynn, very much appreciate you listening, and I appreciate you taking the time to comment and get your question. Again, guys, feel free to comment on any one of our platforms. We have YouTube, Laugh Now Dad Later with Chris and Ray. We have it on there, Spotify as well. So feel free to always comment on any of our videos, any of our audios, our podcast episodes or anything like that. Feel free to comment and leave any questions. Like I said, any kind of questions, anything coming up or anything, we will attempt to answer as much as we can. And so we'll go with that. So moving on to our final topic, and that is local food spot shout out. Okay. This episode's food spot is, drum roll, Chuy's Tex-Mex in Addison. Now I know it's not necessarily a local spot, but it is in my area. It was founded in Austin, but now the company got sold, and I believe their base is over in Florida now. Whatever. But they had great food while I was working there and everything like that. I worked there for about 4 years, especially at the Addison location. But the reason, the specific reason that I'm shouting out the Addison location for Tex-Mex, for Chuy's Tex-Mex, is because I got wind from a friend that still works there that the Addison location is the only location that has brought back, you ready? The nacho car. Yeah, during happy hour, they brought back the nacho car. So make sure, go check it out. It has chips, salsa, ground beef, queso, and refried beans. Load up your nachos and hey, take a pic, put them in the comments. The most delicious looking one will get a shout out on our next episode. You know what I mean? Or if you have a food spot that needs to get shouted out, if you own a food spot that needs to get shouted out and you need us to go check it out and you need us to go ahead and taste it and everything like that, we're not asking for free meals. Just give us the offering, the offering of a place to check out. I'm always willing to check out a new spot. So that being said, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Laugh Now Dad Later. Again, my name is Chris, and we will see you next time.